So here's a very unique trailer. So what we have is we have a 3,500 pound axle, stub axle right here, and it's on this arm that comes over, and that pin right here is actually what supports everything. And this is a teeter-totter with the airbag supplying all the suspension. There's no springs or torsion bar, nothing else. So all the weight's supported on here, all the shock load, the tire actually moves, this goes down, that goes up, and it actually twists. I'll show you guys in a second. But then from the back side, it sits about 10, maybe 12 inches off the ground, will drop fully to the ground, and you just have a teeny 1.5 inch lip that you need to wheel stuff up. So, you know, I've wheeled toolboxes and everything else up on it. So on the side right there, I added an air chuck fitting, and then we have this diamond plate metal box up front. And if we get in here, we see the air compressor, the air tank, like a lawn and garden tractor battery that actually charges while the headlights are running on the vehicle. There's 2 solenoids right here that are connected together, so they fill up at the exact same time. You could separate them if you wanted to fill up one side more than the other. Don't know why you would. And then you have your controls over here, on, off, and then up and down. So just push the button and everything will lower. So we have it sitting, it cuts off at about 100 psi. There's a little pressure sender right here that you can adjust with an Allen screw to tell it what pressure to turn it off on. That's just the tank pressure. How much pressure you put into the airbags is regulated by just how much you push the button. And so we have up and down right here. So if we push down, it just dumps the air. We push up, and it depletes some air out of the tank, so the air tank recharges back up to 100, 105 psi. So here we have about 10 psi in the airbag. You would never run it this low, but it just show you the suspension. This is all the way up, but you can see that it pivots on this pin right here, and the suspension compresses the airbag. I did not build this trailer. I've done a few things to it. I bought it completely inoperable, not running, not working. Nothing was working on it at all. I bought it at an auction, but I added the air fitting and a couple things. I repaired a bunch of airlines. They had a major flaw with these airlines here. They used to just come straight up. They just used to come straight up and just hang over, so you'd constantly bump it with your leg and stuff like that. And so these were constantly leaking, and I put the shielding over them. They're just actually thin. I mean, you can see right there, they're way thinner. So I did modify them and have them come right back out. If that doesn't work, I don't know why they didn't flip the bags upside down and have the airline come through down here. I'll show you guys some of the underneath structure. So here you have about a 1.5 inch, 1.75 inch pin that goes, it doesn't go all the way through, it goes through the other side and is welded on the other side. And in here there's some sort of bushing, I can't tell. The other side was completely frozen up when I got it, and it wouldn't drop. It's still a little stiff, so I had to drill a hole. There's no grease zerks or anything else. I can see remnants of grease, so I'm assuming they greased it and put it together, and there might be a bronze bushing in here, something I can't tell. So the other side I drilled, and it took quite a few applications of penetrating lube to get it to free up. So the idea is on both of these is I'm going to drill them and put a grease zerk in there and pump grease through them. So I added this air fitting and all this air hose. There's probably 25-50 feet of air hose here. So we can just come in here, and now you can actually fill up a tire. So this is a professionally made trailer. It's not a homemade job. I believe it was specifically built just to haul 2 motorcycles, like 2 Harleys or something like that. 2 custom Harleys. You know, maybe they were going to Sturgis or something, and they wanted to, you know, the trailer company owner or something wanted to make a custom trailer, because it's definitely, with the wheels and stuff, you spend a little bit more. Somebody spent a lot of money. Somebody spent more money than probably the trailer's worth to engineer it and just make it versus if you were just bulk selling these things. I believe the company is out of business. I believe so. I Googled them. I couldn't find anything about them. I have never seen another single axle trailer like this, airbag trailer. If you Google online, you can find some dual axle ones. They're pretty dang expensive. I ended up buying this one at an auction, like a tow truck type auction where they had a bunch of surplus vehicles and a bunch of other stuff. At the same auction I bought that vehicle lift I did a restore video kind of on, that you drive your vehicle on, it lifts your vehicle up so you can do mechanicking on it. So I bought this at the same place. I wanted this, I saw this, it wasn't functioning, but I wanted it, and a bunch of other people wanted it, but I guess I wanted it the worst and paid the most for it. So, but very cool trailer. I don't know if it's just a one-off prototype or if they made more. I'm thinking it's just a one-off prototype because there's a lot of money invested into this. I've owned quite a few trailers over the years. This is probably one of the funnest. It's a little nerve-wracking having all the suspension just on airbags, but they seem pretty reliable. They seem pretty robust. It is really nice dropping it down. One of the nicest is I loaded a full-size toolbox, and just a fully loaded toolbox, and just rolled it right up, rolled it right out. I've loaded quite a few heavy items in there just with a dolly. No ramps to get up in. Something like an ATV or something, like this. I can pull this. I actually have ramps. I can drive this into the bed of the truck, but this makes it nice. Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, put them below. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.